Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mighty Mania back with the Nubian campaign. And as you can see, as I zoom out a little bit, everything is going well. We are on day 15, which I feel like these games, even though they're 100-person games, 15 days is not a long time. And they go super, super fast. So be aware of that as you pick up Iron Order. If you're coming from Supremacy 1914, these days go super, super fast. There's a lot of movement really fast in Iron Order. But all that being said, things are going well. I did not take out the Cossacks Union. Morocco did that, and I do want to talk about that just real quick. Morocco didn't do anything wrong here, but in order to be cognizant of your allies and help your allies, know where they are and where they need to go. So my ally Margrave in the south, I went north and east so that I wasn't blocking off Morocco, Voodoo Cult, or Margrave. Voodoo Cult kind of got stuck, and I don't know how he feels about that, but he's been doing okay. Margrave kind of got stuck after he took out most of South Africa, but he was able to jump over here and hit Iran, Persia, however you want to refer to it as. And so he wasn't stuck, and I was headed north. I was taking out Romania, and this was not a problem in this circumstance, but I'm pointing it out so that you can think about things ahead of time. Morocco started coming north through Spain, up through England, and then instead of heading north to deal with Scandinavia, as I was heading north, and as Margrave was headed north, he went straight across and cut me off. This wasn't a problem in this circumstance, and I'll tell you why here in a second. You might have gotten a glimpse of it already, but this can be a problem in other circumstances. I'm not mad, but be aware when you're playing games like this not to cut your allies off, because that can hurt the whole coalition, that can stagnate the whole alliance, and you're the only one who gets to grow, and then everybody has to depend on you, and that can be detrimental to the coalition as a whole. So that being said, this was not a problem, because as I was about to go after the Cossacks Union, which is in modern-day Ukraine, I got attacked, and Margrave got attacked. So Margrave was headed up here, and then randomly got attacked by Indonesia. And as you can see, he took Indonesia's capital randomly, so we can't see Indonesia's name, but it was General Lost Hamster, I believe. So General Lost Hamster attacked Margrave, and I responded by just putting some scouts out to say, hey, you know what, this war's between the two of you. I'm going to make sure that you don't start invading Africa, because that would be a problem for me. But if you two want to go fight over here in India, near Afghanistan, like, go for it. Good luck. Well, in moving my scout mechs into place, he attacked me. So we're at war, and I said, enough is enough. He had a significant naval presence with submarines. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But I was able to remove his presence. Oh, I didn't mean to show that yet. I was able to remove his naval presence because I started spamming out destroyers. Now, this is something that I do want to talk about briefly. I think that Navy is heavily underutilized in this game. Everybody will spam. Let me go up here and just show you. Naval. Everyone likes to spam the submarines. If you get a bunch of submarines, you have a lot of anti-naval power. Submarines do well against submarines. Submarines do well against ships. They don't have the largest vision, but they're all around decent units in the ocean that prevents naval landings, essentially. What they're not good against is destroyers, and it's because destroyers are specifically anti-submarine. They are anti-air, anti-stealth, anti-submarine. So they can see the submarines, they can attack the submarines, and they're pretty decent against aircraft as well. So what I did, I think destroyers are a little bit of an anti-meta. I just started producing a bunch of destroyers because destroyers aren't bad against dreadnoughts as well. Dreadnoughts are anti-land. They have a ranged attack. They're good against land units. They have a 3.5 attack and 2.5 defense against ships. And when you look at the destroyer, it's 3.6 on attack and 4.8 on defense against ships. So the destroyer is going to, two destroyers are going to beat a dreadnought. And even if they don't, they're going to tie it up for long enough. It's cheaper, and it's going to tie it up for long enough that they're not going to be able to get any attacks off. So I think destroyers are very underrated because people are using submarines. Now, the Leviathan is going to beat anything else, but those are super expensive because they take a level 3, so they can be boats or submarines. And when they are in submarine mode, they're anti-submarine. And when they're in boat mode, they are anti-ship. And they're going to be really, really good against all of your ships. These are going to be the best units. But they cost a level 3 naval yard to produce. So in the time it takes to produce one of these, you can have 3 different naval yards producing 3 different destroyers at a similar price. It's going to be a little bit more expensive to do that, but quantity has a quality all of its own. So I think that destroyers are slept on. The other thing that I'm doing right now is I'm testing something out, and I showed you accidentally earlier. I am testing out the Sea Factory. I want to see how well these work. They don't attack. They will defend if they need to, but I already have control of the seas. I have control of the sea lanes, so they deploy infantry. So I'm producing several of these, and they can produce infantry, and then when you level them up, they can produce mechs. And I've got one on the way, and he is going right over here off the coast, and I'm just going to start producing some infantry to pull some of these shenanigans and see how they work. I've never seen them before, but here's one thing that I'm interested to see. When you deploy troops, does it cost you the resources that it costs to create infantry? I don't think so. Infantry has a reasonable cost, but this might be a reason to work on upgrading infantry. Actually, let me go over to the research. So most of the time, your motorized infantry is going to be better because they are significantly faster, they have more hit points, they cost about the same. They're not quite as good on the defense, but you can produce them at almost the same rate. They take a level 2 barracks instead of a level 1. But if the infantry line is free from all of the advanced units, then you definitely want to upgrade your infantry instead of your motorized infantry because they're about the same cost. They are better on defense, and you can put them in mass as a hit point sponge. So I'm kind of curious how that works. I've not seen it. The other thing that I'm going to try, because I have the bombers, is once I have enough beakers to research it, I want to try the carriers. Carriers can actually deploy torpedo boats. I think it deploys submarines, but I'm not sure what a torpedo boat is. I don't see any stats on it, so I'm just going to test it out. The other thing that I tested out that I would not recommend, I tested these little things out, and all they do, they patrol in an area and they see what's in that area. This is good for catching sight lines for like intersections. I was really hoping that they were a little bit more like balloons from 1914, that they have a very limited range of sight, and they're cheap, but they're not cheap enough to just spam a bunch of them and get good view range, I wouldn't recommend them. So where we're at right now, the Indo-Chinese Union, which is General Lost Gerbil. I think it's a multi-account with General Lost Hamster, but I'm not going to make that a full hard accusation on that. General Lost Hamster, and then this guy here, Drizzlet, are in a coalition. They attacked myself and Margrave, and the two of us pretty much destroyed their military forces. The Indo-Chinese Union came in last, and he had a lot of troops, and so that was probably the most hard hit. But then we brought in Morocco after their armies was destroyed, and he's just coming in to plow through and make a mess of things, and it's not going to end well for this coalition. But while we are dealing with them, they are an island-based group. I want to try these two things with the factory and the carrier and figure out how it works. It might not be the best. I've not seen anybody do it, but it might be awesome, and I might start using it consistently because I think that naval is underutilized. People like to build submarines, and they don't really, and they build the Leviathans, and they don't really build anything else. So that is where we are at with this particular game. I think that this has been a really good learning game. We're in first. Excuse me. We are in first currently. I'm in third place as far as points, but I'm not far behind Margrave. And then again, Morocco is way up there on top. We need about another 2,000 points to bring this home. And we're fighting against the third ranked coalition because they came after us. I am a little bit concerned that the second place coalition is going to see that we're distracted and declare war on us, but they might not. The Great Plains Confederacy, they might honestly come over here and try to munch up some of these Asian locations while the third place is distracted because that's going to be easier. So that's all that I have for now. If there's any other big updates, then I will go ahead and record an update to it. But for now, Soli Deo Gloria, and I'll see you next time.